Law Simplified with Justice is anchored by Justice Maduforo. Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. We are well equipped in our litigation and advocacy for the benefit of our clients, corporates, and individuals. Why not visit us at 5 Oakfield House, Oakfield Road, Ilford, London, IG1 1EF. We are just 15 minutes from Liverpool Street Station. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.
Hello, and welcome to Law Simplified with Justice. I remain your usual regular host, Justice Maduforo. This program brings the very best, as you know, and the purpose of this program is to direct you to Tice Madox Solicitors, where you can get tailor-made, well-tailor-made, hassle-free, affordable, proper legal advice that will stand the test of scrutiny, that will lay a good foundation for your case, whether it's in immigration, criminal, employment, contract, civil, advocacy, contract, whatever matter it is. It is important that a foundation is laid, and that is what this firm, Tice Madox Solicitors, will provide once you come to us. I have brought several topics and I discussed them on this program. And some of you have benefited when you came to my office to discuss your matter. You have seen that it is important that consultation is the very stage of which you can sustain, maintain, and succeed in your applications, appeals, whatever process you are going through, legally speaking. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, and you know that, you must not and you cannot act one way or the other on what you hear me speak on this program, because this is purely generic. It does not deal with the substance of your case, and therefore you will do yourself no justice if you act on what you hear me speak on this program. Do not act on what you hear speak on this program, but rather take the telephone number, pass it to someone else that needs it, and book an appointment to see me one-on-one in the office, where you will now receive tailor-made that suit your personal circumstance for your success. On that note, moving forward, I will introduce the topic today. And you know that I am a solicitor of the Supreme Court or Senior Court of England and Wales. I am also a barrister solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. What does that mean? It means that I have been skilled in the act of both litigation and advocacy, be it whatever situation you're going through, which is why I discuss, especially in immigration, some of you who are burdened under this particular heading, immigration, and moving further to those of you who are going through family issues, to employment matters, which is very crucial, going through your employers and going through matters in your employment relationship matters. You know what it is. You know that I'm the best in that. Going through criminal matters. You know I'm police station and magistrate court judicial solicitor and accredited to represent you and all the way to the Court of Appeal, to Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, I am vast in what I discuss. I am robust when I represent you. I am thorough when I take instructions from you. The firm will unleash the best practice in your case. When we take your matters, we'll keep you informed, updated at every point in time. There is a firm you can trust, you can believe in, can act in your best interest all the time. From the moment you walk into office for consultation, all the way through to the conclusion of your matter, you can count on us. Let me quickly introduce the topic today. And obviously you can see it's flashing a little bit on the screen. I'll be discussing immigration today. And my topic today is adult dependent relative. Adult dependent relatives. Immigration law I'm discussing today, and the topic is adult dependent relatives. Now, immigration has gone in another, sophisticated manner. And with the way the government and the leadership of the party in control of the UK at the moment are bringing in all to ensure that the manifestos to curb migration is actualized. Whether in reality or not, these rules come in to shape that policy. But it's important that those of you outside also, whether you are under the immigration control or not under immigration control, it's important that you also seek proper legal advice at any point in time. And that's why this program comes, so that you can take action at any time you have that feeling that you need to check what is going on. Now, this topic today, or this program or telecast, may kickstart your consciousness to law. Not only immigration. So do not think this is only immigration telecast. No, you can search us on eBay, on YouTube. You can also see that we have unleashed so many topics, from employment to contract to family and to criminal. So we've discussed all that. So you understand that this program leads to Tice Madox Solicitors, where you can get best tailor-made legal advice. Best you can rely on. You can quote on. You can speak on us. You can quote us. And you can rely on what we say to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important. Those of you who have not had some dealings with legal representative may not understand what I'm talking about. If you've had one way or the other dealt with legal representative and you're not completely satisfied, or at the moment, the ongoing matter you have and you are not satisfied based on this element I've projected to you, you will see the difference in Tice Madox Solicitors, because we'll keep you informed all the time. With all the paraphernalia, all the electronics available and electronic medias available, we will keep you informed and we will deal with your matter in your best interest and robustly, proactively push forward your cause. Ladies and gentlemen, are adult-dependent relatives of the immigration rules. Now, what does that mean? It simply means in common sense that some of you who are British citizens here, settled in the UK with your wife, with your children, or yourself alone, you're a single person, you're a British citizen, whatever it is, you want to bring your children over. Now, this topic is completely within the region of the domestic law, which means that it's different from those controlled under the EEA. So I'm not discussing this topic under the EEA now. It's under domestic law, the UK domestic law, that you understand clearly where this applies, which means that if you are a British citizen, interfaith leave holder, you're a refugee, having been recognized as a refugee with the endorsement as a refugee, now you now want to bring your aged parents, aged grandmother or grandparents or grandfather, whatever you have, to the United Kingdom, because some of you have been brought up by your grandparents in your country of origin before you migrated this way, and you become a British citizen, and your grandparents who have raised you up are now, or your grandmother or grandfather are now, or is now, going through a very serious issue that you want to reunite with your family, with your parents, with your grandparents. Family is a very fundamental key to human existence, and it pertains the success of an individual when they have good flowing family. And as a result of that, they tend to keep close their family. So family unit is key, which is why the European Convention of the Human Rights have enshrined your family life in that article, which means that your right to your family life and private life need to be protected, not only by the government of the United Kingdom, by your country where you're coming from, as far and as long as they are signatories to that convention of Geneva Convention of 1951. Ladies and gentlemen, and going towards the asylum of the Geneva Convention. But under the ECHR, European Convention of Human Rights, countries that have endorsed under the Human Rights Act, and some of them in the European Convention, in European Unions, and have the European Convention of Human Rights. They've all signed up to protect the human dignity, human life, human family life of an individual. That is where these came in, and the United Kingdom being in the forefront of protecting family life and open up an avenue where you can come in to stay with your parents in the United Kingdom as long as you have the value and you have the means and accommodation to deal with it. However, these things were eroded. These procedures were eroded in 2012, July, which is why I said to you that because I have an eagle eye when I deal with immigration matters, I understand the rudiments when the changes apply and how to quickly shift and take the circumstances into perspective to make a proper application that is within and that is eligible. So as a result of the changes in July 2012, the relatives and adult dependents were changed in such a way that the rules were created, were carved out, which is now adult dependent relatives. And then with so many conditions placed on that rule. That rule is under the ECDR, with all the relevant issues that deals with eligibility, suitability, which you have to meet before you can have an entry clearance from your country of origin where your grandparents, your parents reside. to come join you in the United Kingdom. Now, July 2012 eroded some fundamental family values and which this country, United Kingdom, swore to uphold, in the sense that to cut migration, definitely your human rights and some family life or private lives were affected. The question now is the proportionality and the extent and the reasonableness of that curtailment to your family life. That comes into perspective. But under what I'm discussing today, adult dependent relatives, the Home Office have provided this rule of which you have to seek entry clearance to come to United Kingdom. That means one of the conditions is that your parents or your grandparent must be outside of the United Kingdom and then make the application to come to join you. Now, that is not sufficient because most of you can meet that rule. It is no longer that. The question now is that going to the certain other sections of the conditions which you must meet, or even show evidence that you can likely meet it. You see the way I coined it. You must meet or likely to meet it. One of them is also that your parents need long-term personal and medical care. Long-term, mark that word, long-term medical care. Some aged parents and grandparents, this is understandable. It is natural that they all need care. But some of them depend on the level of their sickness. I will discuss that quickly. Depend on the level of the sickness. Some sicknesses are not long-term. Some are short-term. But as a result of old age, it becomes long-term because the more the person ages, the health deteriorates. The question is about now is to go to the next condition. Is nobody else available to take care of the person in that country? Now, going to the next step also is that there is no medical facility or medical help in the country where that person resides that will deal with such condition. So, you see, it comes now where we deal with verification and substantiating not only with just letters, but detailed medical reports of the condition of the person, of your parents or grandparents, and to work it out. This is now entry clearance. For those of you who want to make that application to come in, or if you are in the country here, ladies and gentlemen, your parents have come into this country. Most of you, let me give you this in a scenario. Most of you have come in here, your parents have come in here with visiting visa, family to visit families, and they've come over. And they no longer want to return, or even if they want to return, but one way or the other, sickness prevented them from returning. And as a result of that, most of you now want to seek through to make an application to regularize the person's stay in the United Kingdom. Now, I will tell you the rule that applies to that separately. Some of that is quite more stringent than the entry clearance that will come in. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because some of you have that. In my research and the work I've done so far, I've seen that most of the migrants who've come in here have migrated and sojourned on their own, or with their family, or their brother or sister, or with one child or two children. They have sojourned here. Along the line, they've stayed and they managed to become British citizens or indefinite leave holders. Or, at best, they have now been granted refugee status as refugees. Now, they now want to reunite. Now, the 2012 changes, which is on today, which is practically what is going through today, which is implemented to this stage, 2015, 16, and as you go along, pending and subject to any review by the Home Office or by a way of case stated before a court of competent jurisdiction of court of record, which must have now ordered and made that decision and rule that condition or those conditions were unreasonable. In that case, the Secretary of State will have to review the policy and review the rules and amend it in accordance with the court decision, depending on the court that made that decision. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very solid when I discuss immigration matters because I am very, very critically thorough. When I look at the conditions as to see whether you meet them, and even if you think you don't meet them, I have the opportunity and the technical know-how to bring that thing you think is irrelevant and then discuss it and see how we can make that application based on that information that you think is worthless. I have the ability to bring things that are worthless to be worthy for an application. And therefore, why don't you take the opportunity to meet and to discuss your matter with the person who knows what he's doing, who knows his onions in the field that he practices, and the firm that will lead you correctly all the way. You don't need to jump from one firm to the other in order to finally come to me. No. Some of you have done that, obviously, because you've now had contact with me over the over this telecast, and you now want to take advantage. That is good. That is good, because you've now been able to know that certain things were not done properly. You want to rectify them. That is where we can take it up. But the issue is that if your matter has gone so far away that very important information, which is vital, we're not putting at the last minute to put it in, will be a very Herculean task, a very great task, a very great and very hard nut to crack. But we will do our best to ensure that that new circumstance is now put back into your case to see that the chances of your success in your application or your appeal or your review or whatever permission will go up. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been discussing dependent adult relatives in this telecast today and this discussion. And I've told you that ECRDL deals with the entry clearance of those who can come into the country. Now, I go to the issue about your parents is now in this country through visitor's visa, through any means, student visa, through any other means they've come in here. But they can no longer return back to your country. What do? If you make that application, how can you succeed? Ladies and gentlemen, I will take a very quick short break, and I will come back to give you explosive exposition on that. But remember, what I discussed are just skeletal. They are bullet points. They are now the real deal. The real deal is when you come to see me in the office, where I will robustly lay bare on the table and put options before you, take detailed instruction from you, and you will see the difference. And ladies and gentlemen, before I take this short break, it is also important to let you know, you must pay consultation fee because you're coming to seek expert advice. Not just from a lawyer, but from an expert. On that note, I take a quick short break. Don't change the dial.
Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.
Hello. Welcome back to Law Simplified with Justice. I remain your usual regular host, Justice Maduforo. I am a solicitor of the Senior Court of England and Wales, and I'm very proud to say also I'm a barrister and a solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. I'm the principal of Tice Madox Solicitors, and ladies and gentlemen, you have and you speak with an authority. Authority in areas I discuss with you. In criminal, immigration, employment, family, contract, you have me. Ladies and gentlemen, landlord and tenant, especially with the new rules coming in now, or through the immigration rules, landlord and tenants, this is a different area of law you should need to understand. I won't go that. I will discuss that in the next topic. I'm discussing today adult dependent relatives in immigration rules. And the question is now that if your parents are outside the UK and you have to fulfill the requirement and show the evidence, remember that the proof is on you. How do you gather the proof? Come to me. Come to the solicitor, understand what to do for you. And you will know and you will be rest assured that the steps and the decisions you're making are well guided. And I will guide you. That's what you need. That's basically what you need. What you want to do for yourself, I will do it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a set for those who want to come in, bring in their parents or their grandparents to join them in the United Kingdom. Now, let me also say about, from what I discussed before I took a short break, those of you that are already here, your parents are already here. Through one means or the other, they've come to the United Kingdom. Student visa, tourist visa, tier point-based system visa, visiting visa, whatever visa they've come in, medical visa, they've come to the United Kingdom, and they have assessed all that, and then discussion have taken place, and it appears that they can no longer return back to their country. One way or the other, based on whatever reason that you propounded, and that because you want the family to be close to you. The court understands that at some certain stages. And so their decisions are guided as in relation to whether or not it's just as a result of a choice for parents to live with you, or as a result of the fact that you met the requirement or the case laws that back up such application. Now, when your parents are already here and you want to make that application to stay here and regularize your stay, and I agree with you that it's not good for your parents to just come stay and become illegal, overstayers. at that point in time. And basically, not only would they be able to find it difficult going 2016 now upwards in respect to assessing the medical health care and rest of them, social amenities they need to, that they deserve as a result of old age or sickness, but because of the fact that they don't have even leave to even exercise themselves to any other place they need to go to by way of their travel. And so they're stuck in here with you. And you are worried. You want them to have one sort of stay or the other to assist them going further. Ladies and gentlemen, and they're already here. And with the visa or visa have expired, you want them to regularize the stay and let your parents join you here. You know, the tax is not much because you're not now going through not only to fulfill the requirement of the entry clearance, as I explained to you, under the ECDR regulation rules. Now, you also now have to deal with the case laws that have dealt with these matters from the Court of Appeal up to the House of Lords, up to the European Convention on Human Rights. These courts have reeled out thresholds, avenues, circumstances of which such application can succeed in the host country where you live, in this case, United Kingdom. You must now show all that. This is why you come to the right firm to understand that you fulfill them. If you don't fulfill them, to see whether that case can mature. And before you can lodge that application, whether if you're in appeal stage, whether you can chase it further, you can proceed further on it, or you need to shut it down. This is the firm and this is a solicitor that you need to guide you all the way, robustly, boldly, and confidently when I speak to you about your matter. Because as an expert in what I do, I give you 110% of my advice, which means that you can run with it. What else can you ask for? Other than go to a one-stop shop where you get the right advice. If the advice is good, you want to proceed further with your case, we'll run with it. We'll run with it like Usain Bolt. I like to use that word. We'll run with it like Usain Bolt and make sure you cross the line successfully. Now, I said that courts have made decisions in respect to adult dependent relatives that have applied here. Those who are over 65 years of age, even they're not over 65 years of age, they are now parents or grandparents, whichever category they're applying through their sponsor who is the child or the daughter's son, whatever it is, or through their sponsor who is the grandchild, they're coming to stay. Now, the question will be, what did the court say about that? Courts have made decisions in respect to that. This is the Court of Appeal decision in 2011 have dealt with this matter. The court said, and I quote the court, by saying clearly that family life would not normally exist. This is also coming under Article 8, which is under human right now, which you're making the application. Now, your child is an adult. You are an adult. The question now is that even if you have a family life with your child, nobody is disputing that this is your child. You now have a child. The question is that, do you meet the rules? Now, the court says in AAO versus Entry Clearance Officer, this is the 2011 Court decision, that it goes no between, the family life would not normally exist between parents and adult children within the meaning of Article 8 in the absence of further element of dependency which went beyond normal emotional ties. This is the Court of Appeal speaking on this basis. Dependent, okay, normal emotional ties, what goes beyond normal emotional ties is about just normal father, daughter, mother, son, or parents, child relationship. This is understandable. Nobody disputes that you have a relationship with your child who is an adult, whether it's an adult or a child. That parent relationship still stay there. The question now is crossing the line under the immigration rules, whether you meet it. Now, you must go beyond that ties. You must go beyond that dependency financially, that they give you food, they take care of you. It goes beyond that. That draws us back to health. That draws us back to what goes beyond emotional ties. That I said to you, because I have no time more now, that the House of Lords have also ruled in that matter relating to your health status. And what will be the extent, the level of your health, of which that your dependency of your children or grandchild or grandchildren will now take you above the threshold. House of Lords in 2005 made that decision, and that matter went up to the Grand Chambers of the European Court of Human Rights. In the case of N against UK application, this court maintained on the basis that your life, your health, must not just be nominally that you are suffering from one condition or the other, but however, this is still subject to a medical assessment to see what you can or cannot do. On that basis, then the court will look at whether your health has got to a critical stage or not a minimal stage. Now, remember I said to you on the anti-clearance office, you must show there is a life that is a long-term illness. Long-term illness, you need to show whether that will end, that will just for the meantime, or whether through medical assessment that the condition could be better and could swap down to another condition. This is all need to be assessed when the medical experts now provide their opinion and provide their advice. You come to the firm that can institute that. You come to a firm that can kickstart that. You come to a firm that can make that possible. That's why this telecast is for you to take the telephone number, pass it to those that need it, and let them call me to come to the office. If you're already having a representative that you're not sure what they're doing for you, why stay there? Why do you stay there? Come to a firm that understands your case, that can run and achieve you success. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak with passion because I give passion on the book. Not only speaking, but also in action. Even in court, I speak with such emotion and such confidence because I want you to succeed. Even if whatever the judge said, I want to put your case strongly as much as possible to ensure that you succeed, to make sure that the value of the money you pay is realized. I said that by going through the case of the House of Lords, of the Grand Chambers, of the European Court of Human Rights, in a certain more than emotional tie with your parents or grandparents. But however, this case is still there. Whether you meet the threshold is another thing. Come to me. If your parents are in this country, you want to regularize your stay, one way or the other, not only will you go through the adult dependent relative, I will also search your house to see whether or not, when I'm in house in court, search what you have to see whether we can use that one way or the other to make an application that can stand more than 50% chance of success, of which I can run with successfully to achieve that result for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any time. I told you that I just bring bullet points. What you need is a telephone number to not come to the office and take detailed instructions. Do not be afraid and do not be dismayed and do not be concerned of the constitutional fee you pay because it's the foundation. If you don't build that foundation and just start an application with anybody who just want to overrun the consultation and then start making an application for you, that's what I see most of you that come to my office. Because you haven't done that properly, and at the end of the day, they make this application for you, they do not hold waters because no foundation had been laid. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will end this telecast to tell you to take this telephone number and contact me and come to the office to take proper legal advice. Till next time I meet you, I remain Justice Maduforo, the infatigable Justice Maduforo, the robust Justice Maduforo, thorough Justice Maduforo. On Law Simplified with Justice, leading you to Tice Madox Solicitors. Check us on website, ticemadox.com. Add us on Twitter, Tice_Madox. Also, just check us up on YouTube as well. Just type in Law Simplified TV or my name, Justice Maduforo, or Law Simplified with Justice, and check our other programs. You can also add us and check us on Facebook, which is Tice Madox Solicitors. You have so many avenues to contact us, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time I come your way, I remain your host. And this program will continue to serve to liberate you. Take advantage of it. Pass the number to the next person that need it. Let them come to the office. Your time has come.
Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. We are well equipped in our litigation and advocacy for the benefit of our clients, corporates, and individuals. Why not visit us at 5 Oakfield House, Oakfield Road, Ilford, London, IG1 1EF. We are just 15 minutes from Liverpool Street Station. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.